I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here.
We shouldn't be the only ones excited, though. I mean,
Well,
are you guys excited to be here? You know, we're the first ones up. Don't make us work too over, right? Like, let's do this together.
We're not going to have to because we're going to pay them off. So, you know, I have to say, just anecdotally, how incredibly honored I am to share the stage with you, Maurice. You have had an incredible career. The folks, and I'm going to speak directly to Gina, smart move by bringing this man on. You know, your years, Target, General Mills, Coca-Cola, IHG. I mean, you have really run the gamut.
Thanks for reminding them I've been around the block.
but all of those experiences have really led you to a really interesting place right now. So, you know, I certainly now, in your time at Bath & Body Works, and you've been there almost a year now, I guess my first question is, how'd you find your way there? Why are you there? What got you really interested and excited about the opportunity?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm excited to be here. Really, really thrilled to be on the stage with you, and I am fired up about being at Bath & Body Works, and I'll tell you why. It's been 8 fast and furious months, and I've learned a lot about this business, and the thing that I'm really blown away by is the incredible amount of potential that's in front of us. So, you know, it started with me learning a bit more about the solid foundation that our business is built on. Did you know that Bath & Body Works is a $7.5 billion business today?
Woo!
Yes, thank you. $7.5 billion business, 40% household penetration in the U.S., 1,800 stores across the country and Canada. 99% of those stores, by the way, are profitable. Did you know that?
I did not.
That is unheard of. And on top of that, it's built on this incredibly world-class, agile supply chain that was actually featured on the front page of the Wall Street Journal last year. And so, gosh, you start with all of that and you say, why wouldn't you want to be here? And then here's what I think the brand innovators in the room are going to get excited about. I learned that Bath & Body Works is the global leader in fragrance. The global leader in fragrance. I said it. Right? And so as the global leader, it's our responsibility actually to champion what the power of fragrance is all about in the lives of our customers. And you all know that the perfect scent is everything, right? It sets the mood. It lifts your spirits, right? I see some smiles. There you go. Lifts your spirits, and it allows for you to really sort of connect to a range of emotions that you could be feeling at any moment. And to put that to the test, Vito, do you have a hand cream?
I've got some on the chairs.
Yeah, let's get him a hand cream too. All right, we're gonna do a little experiment. Does everybody have something to smell?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take whatever it is that you've chosen. I want you to apply a little bit to your hand, and then I just want you to breathe in. Come on, let's do it. I'll do it.
I got it on my mouth.
There you go.
Again.
You went all in.
Yeah, take another breath if you want to. It's okay. And now I'm just going to check around the room to see how many smiles I see, and I see quite a few. And you know, here's the reason why. Scent is actually the most evocative of all of our senses. It doesn't always get the credit that it deserves, right? But it is the shortest pathway to feelings, to memories, and we leverage that ability at Bath & Body Works, right, to bring joy to our customers. And so, actually, Todd, we landed a new brand idea very recently that we're very proud of, that invites customers to come back to their senses. And here's why we think that that is such a needed dynamic. 75% of Americans, 75% have said that they are overwhelmed and stressed out daily. And more than half of those folks say that the way that they manage through is by going on autopilot. That's just walking through the day like a zombie. And we feel like you should be able to live life more fully than that. You should be present. You should be engaged. You should be fulfilled. And so come back to your senses is that invitation to really understand what the power of fragrance is all about.
So I like that beginning session, which had the one slide that just said breathe. If I take a breath and that eucalyptus,
Yes.
that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Yeah. That's not how I'm going through life anymore. I like that a lot. So, when we also first connected, really interesting, the evolution of just marketing as a whole, the way we're going about things. Your title, Chief Customer Officer, not Chief Marketing Officer. So talk to me about the evolution of what those roles mean today versus what they once were in the yesteryear.
Well, first of all, much love to all of the CMOs and all the leaders of marketing, because I'm a marketer at heart. And so, let's talk about what has remained the same when you think about marketing before we talk about what's changed. I think what's remained the same is that if you are leading marketing, your responsibility is to drive growth, period, right? I think marketers get in trouble when the activities that we're responsible for somehow get divorced from growth. Yeah, it's great to build a strong brand. Yeah, it's great to generate buzz and conversation. Yeah, it's great to be able to build equities. But at the end of the day, that's all in service to getting people to change their perception and ultimately change their behavior. So I think where we are seeing more pressure on marketers nowadays, and I think we all feel it in the room, is there is more scrutiny. I'm looking at my boss as I say this, more scrutiny on us to demonstrate faster, right? And with more granularity, what impact you get from every dollar invested. And I think that's true across all industries, but in retail in particular, what we found is that one of the key ways to break through and drive growth is a relentless focus on the customer. We sell amazing products. Shout out to my chief merchandising officer right here, right? We sell amazing products that really lift people's lives, but it's also important to understand who they are, what motivates them, and ultimately what's going to get them to choose us in a sea of choices out there today, right? I think for retailers, that's the challenge. You can get access to fragrance in lots of different ways. Why are you choosing us? And so my role as Chief Customer Officer is really about helping the company center a little bit more on the customer, on their end-to-end journey, and thinking about how we put together marketing, communications, and support growth strategy to be able to do that. At the end of the day, my job is to bring more customers, more often, with more love to Bath & Body Works.
I love that, and I love it for a lot of reasons. You folks have recently announced pretty amazing collaboration with one of the sponsors here, Netflix.
Yes.
For those that don't know
Did
about
you scoop me right there?
Yeah, I did. You want to share that with the team here, so this way I don't get in trouble?
Well, look, I am going to shout out that amazing partnership, but I think, generally speaking, when you think about delivering more customers more often with more love, part of the challenge for us is connecting to head and heart, right? From a head perspective, we are well known from an aided awareness perspective. In fact, we're almost universally known, right? But we've got to be top of mind. People have to think about us. People have to, call us Bath & Body Works and maybe not Bed Bath & Beyond. No shade, right? That's important though, right? We have to be known for who we are, top of mind. Then we've got to be able to convince folks to have another reason to consider purchasing with us. And then we've got to make conversion easier through a seamless and more immersive experience. And so in Q4 of last year, we leaned into a new way of marketing, and we're going to show you a quick video here with some of the highlights that we're pretty proud of. So hopefully you can. I'm sorry, my friends over here. I feel like you can't see, but let's go ahead and run it.
Love this song.
Baby, you can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride? Oh, my outfit's so tight, you can see my heartbeat tonight. I can take the heat, baby, best believe that's the moment I shine. Cause every romance shakes the new dance, don't give a damn. When the night's here, I don't do tears, baby, no chance. I can dance, I can dance, I can dance.
Watch me.
Dance, dance the night away. see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you will see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party burning, I wouldn't have a place. When my heart breaks, when my world shakes, I don't play it safe. Don't you know about me? I could dance, I could dance, I could dance tonight.
Right.
So, great stuff. I saw a lot of there that I don't think anybody in the room had really been aware of
Yep.
previously. In prep for this conversation, candidly, we talked about my role
Yeah.
with Bath & Body Works, which was arm on the railing outside the store in the mall, waiting for my wife to come out.
Come in, Todd.
Yeah.
Come in the store.
And I noticed to focus on mail. So talk to us about that refocus, the re-energy, because this is not a brand that's really known historically as a huge marketing push. And now we're seeing some really flashy, wonderful music and exciting stuff. So you're really trying to engage the audience. So talk to me. What are you guys working on?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. So you saw just a smattering of the great activity that happened in Q4. For the first time, we really activated the top of the funnel for the brand. So the brand was on TV for the first time in many, many years. We were in out of home. We were in markets and really sort of engaging with customers in a great way. We saw a 74% lift in impressions year over year. So when we talk about that top of mind awareness, it really, really kicked in for us. You may have seen the giant candle. Anybody walking through the Mandalay Bay saw the giant candle up already? If you haven't, go to the Mandalay Bay, walk by the giant candle. You're going to smile. You're going to be inspired. But it generated 2.2 billion impressions for us alone right in advance of Candle Day. So we saw a huge, huge sort of a momentum in terms of awareness. And then conversion, our men's, you talked about this, right? How many men are in here and they're okay? They're able to say, I focus on my self-care. I am taking care of myself from a fragrance. That's all right. There you go. Men who are willing to do it, raise your hand, right? It's exploding. Men's care is exploding, and it's actually the fastest part of our business. And so last year, we engaged men through the power of sports and football in particular. We had great content, great influencers. You saw Christian McCaffrey and Nick Bosa and others that really were out there talking about caring for themselves. And then we went around the country and we actually sampled 750,000 men and gave them a chance to try the product for the first time, and it drove a lift in our business. So those things are really important. And then today, you brought this up, so I got to give a shout out to Netflix and the collaboration there. How many of you all saw last week our announcement that Bath & Body Works is partnered with Netflix? Yes, you can raise your hand, yep. And we are partnered with Netflix to really sort of transform the viewing experience and fandom for them, right? Right now, their fandom is missing a dimension, which is scent, right? You can watch the content, you can be engrossed in the content, but what if you could put yourself in a scene by smelling what it actually smells like to be in the study of Bridgerton, or to be at that ball when the diamond of the season comes in? Well, we were able to provide that now, and the response has been unbelievable.
As long as it's not the Staples, we're good.
Yeah, no. Maybe next season.
There was something that you had mentioned, a word that you had used previously that really resonates, and I think definitely speaks to what you're trying to accomplish, and that word is accessibility.
Mm.
So, especially in the world of fragrance, we joke, but Creed is $360 a bottle. Just to smell good. I mean, and it smells good, don't get me wrong. The accessibility,
It better smell good.
it better do more than that. But that accessibility is something that really opens up the market for you folks. And as you talk about being the biggest fragrance provider in the world, I mean, that absolutely makes a ton of sense. So, you've got your head of merchandising here. I know you're working on a whole bunch of other stuff. What else are you guys looking at as you aim towards the future? What are your plans? How are you going to really expand from a consumer's lens of what they actually want and serving those consumer needs.
Yeah, well, I mean, let me hit on a couple things really quickly. I love the fact that you brought up access. And here's the thing, when, you may have heard other businesses say this, I truly do believe this with Bath & Body Works. I believe we are in a bit of a category of one. We are a retailer, we are also a brand. We are the leader in fragrance, and fragrance is as you said, a industry that traditionally has said it's only for the few. And we are contradicting that and saying you don't have to compromise. We work with literally the best fragrance houses in the world. The same fragrance houses that work with all of the luxury brands are the fragrance houses that we work with. And so we are challenging the notion that high quality scents, high quality body care, high quality home solutions have to cost a lot of money. So you don't have to compromise. You can have high quality and you can have accessibility. And that's really, really important to us. And so we want to get that news out there. I think one of the other things that we're doing that's super exciting that I love about Bath & Body Works is our ability to take our fragrance authority and put it in so many use cases in your life. So we already talked about men's, but we should also talk about something like hair, right? So hair care has been a space that our customers have been begging for years. Hey, can you take my favorite fragrance and put it in a really efficacious hair formula? We've been able to do that. We're getting real momentum there. 14% of people who buy our hair care are actually new to the brand, which is huge, right? Now let's talk about laundry. So you may have seen it in the sizzle. How many of you all knew that Bath & Body Works was in the laundry business? Okay, well, we're working on that. Shout out to my CMO right there who's going to be working on that, right? So we are in the laundry business, but we're not just in the laundry business. We're transforming the laundry business by putting up a formula that works as best as anything out in the market, but then brings all of your favorite fragrances to bear. And what we've heard from customers is, now I actually look forward to doing laundry. Is that what you said?
No.
That's okay. We'll get you some laundry, and it's going to change your life. So actually, to do that, we had a little video just to play really quick with laundry. I wonder if we can run it. Come on. Come on. No, it is big because we have an opportunity to really sort of reset perceptions on, again, what the role and the power of fragrance looks like. And so we're really excited about what laundry represents, what men's represents. The last one that I'll give a shout out to is lip, which is a big, how many of you knew that we were in the lip business? Yes. It actually is really, really critical to younger customers who come into our store to have an option like that, and it is on fire right now. We have a new fixture up in stores that we're very, very proud of that has actually doubled the velocity of our lip product. I think we had an image of that, but the notion that Bath & Body Works can be relevant and applicable in so many aspects of your life is what we're proud to promote.
I love that. One thing that we discussed, and this is real, and I'm going to look directly at you when I say this, I actually installed into my HVAC system the scents. So like when you walk into the hotels and you smell something good, because I love that. So just I'm throwing it out there.
So we now have something new in our innovation pipeline.
There you go. For the nerdy guys who want their houses to smell good. No, this is really tremendous. I want to say thank you again. A total honor to share the stage with you. I do want to open the floor to any questions that you folks might have. And I just want to remind you, I've been to Brand Innovators events quite a bit. If you are not making friends in this room, you're really missing the boat. This is really an opportunity to mix and mingle. Question?
Yeah. My name is Max. Max, local marketing platform for franchise brands and multi-location brands. So you are doing amazing initiatives on the global level just to direct the awareness to the things, the most important things that we all saw here. So, question is the following: I'm an enthusiast of the local marketing done locally. Is there any initiative that you're running to engage local communities and to make it extremely contextualized? Because all those things we've seen here, it's a great content that kind of unites people around the store and so on. Do you have anything in pipeline about that?
Great question. It's actually a really important point because Bath & Body Works, while we are a global leader in fragrance, we're also very relevant locally, right? In fact, when you go into our stores, we're one of the few brands that still has a very proactive, hands-on service approach to your shopping experience. In each of our stores, they pride themselves on being family, they pride themselves on caring for community, and so you get a local flair when you come into each of our shops. So we have to be aware of that and cognizant of that as we partner with our stores teams to be able to bring our propositions to life. So I think that's one part of it. I think the second part is personalization, right? We are working very fast on becoming more and more personalized, right? So that we can serve up to you based off of not only what your passion points are and your needs are, but also where you are geographically, right? The most relevant messages at the right time to drive performance. And so those are really, really important bits. And you know, I'm a big proponent of local marketing. It's something that we are going to be leaning more and more into in the future.
Right here.
Hi, Nikki Laughlin. That was awesome. Thank you. I have so many questions. I'm going to boil it down to two. I'm going for a twofer. So on the personalization, like you talked about heart, mind, I'm wondering about wallet, and I saw some promotions there. I'm wondering how you think about the promotional piece.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask is the laundry. So amazing. Have you thought about getting on the grocery shelves with that as frequency? Surprise and delight, I feel like I would rip that off the shelf and then want to come into the store to explore more. So curious about if you thought about that piece.
Love it. So let's start with personalization. I mean, I think you know, one of the keys to personalization is being able to mobilize the wealth of first-party data that we have today, and to be able to translate that into an understanding of the customer and what they're looking for. And so we're on that journey right now. I would say historically we have been much more of a, particularly promotionally, a one-size-fits-all, but we're actually getting into a space now where you get served particular promotions based off of what your passion points are, based off of what your history is, right? And that allows for us to be more effective, and we want to be on the cutting edge there. We think that there's real opportunity to be able to do it, and in fact, we're at our best when we put three pieces together. When we have product newness, when we have great storytelling, and then when we have a value proposition that creates urgency and brings our customer in. So it is definitely a part. We're not ashamed of accessibility, right? So we lean into that with pride, so that's one thing. I think, you know, on the laundry front, I'll click it up to say other points of distribution. That is definitely something, a hot topic, something that we're all talking about and exploring. Here's what I would say. First step is, if you think about the history of Bath & Body Works, you would have said, historically, mall-based business, right? Brick and mortar, and we're evolving, right? One, we're more off-mall today than we are on-mall, if you didn't know that from our distribution, right? So look for us close to you, because that is a part of us being relevant, right? Back in the day, malls were the center, and they are still relevant, but we are reaching customers where they are. Second, like a lot of retailers in the pandemic, our e-commerce exploded. And so now we have a significant portion of our business that's flowing through direct. And so we are cultivating relationships with customers through our own direct, and then even off-platform as you think about things like social commerce and others. So we're thinking about those forms of distribution. And then I say the last thing is even thinking about partnerships like we have with Instacart that give you same-day delivery. So we have lots of different ways in which we can service the customer, and we're maximizing that potential right now.
Two quick comments. One is, what's the secret sauce for your company that gets a 12-year-old girl when she turns 13 to be like, I must be in the store all the time? Because that's my daughter. She went from nothing
The
to.
power of fragrance.
It's unbelievable. But it was like a switch. It was unbelievable. Real marketing question for you. When you think about all the different marketing efforts that you go through, how do you think about measurement nowadays? Right? How do you measure the effectiveness of all the different things you're doing between promotion, social, on-site, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a collective business, daily, hourly, retail is it's one of the beautiful things and also like the exhausting things of retail, right? Is being able to measure the business in real time, and we cross-functionally look at all of the levers. What does the channel mix look like? What does the product mix look like? What are we getting from our marketing, right? And what's really sort of being driven there? I would be remiss to say, and I didn't talk about loyalty, shame on me, but I'm going to talk about loyalty, right? We, in 1 year, scaled to 37 million active loyalty members.
Woo.
So there is a wealth of data that we can pull from that as well and centralize into a customer data file that allows for the personalization to work, that allows for the marketing to be more relevant. And so we take measurement from lots of different sources, including industry and syndicates as well, and put together a story on what really the opportunity is for our business.
Thank you.
Can I ask one more question?
Give me one question.
That, like from here, that looks like Laneige. Is prestige inspired or dupes part of the strategy?
Well, I'm going to say one thing about dupes. Who said that the dupe had to be the least expensive brand, right? Maybe the dupe could be the more expensive brand, but we'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Who was there first is the question, Nikki. All right, so that's one. Number two, there's nothing wrong with aspiration. Just because you have an affordable price point, it doesn't mean that you, people don't want to feel like if they are buying something that is affordable, that they are not getting access to quality.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got to be able to lift up the profile of our brands, our messages, and we've got to be able to showcase what the power of fragrance really means to the lives of our customers.
I want to say thank you again. I'm really grateful none of those questions had to do with hair care. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.